Despite my lingering suspicions, my love for her remained steadfast. Strange occurrences, unprecedented in our 15 years of marriage, set off alarm bells in my mind. Her style transformed drastically when the new boss assumed control at her office. Suddenly, our domestic life took a turn for the better. She initiated intimacy, a departure from her past behavior. Nighttime texts became routine, as did late meetings after work. Though she offered plausible explanations for each occurrence, my innate jealousy simmered beneath the surface. I instructed the private investigation firm to withhold any findings until their investigation concluded. I hoped against hope that my concerns were merely the product of an overactive imagination. 3 months later, I received a comprehensive dossier that shattered my illusions. Video footage, audio recordings, and photographs confirmed my worst fears. Without hesitation, I instructed Grant, my attorney, to initiate divorce proceedings, demanding the papers be prepared by Wednesday afternoon. Unbeknownst to her, I plotted to confront them during their Thursday night tryst, a surprise in store for the illicit couple. Her audacity astounded me. Polly, of all people, should have known better. She knows me intimately, my intuition, my determination, my unforgiving nature. She witnessed firsthand my ruthlessness in business, how I rose to power and decimated my competitors. Now I command a significant stake in a major trucking company, earning the respect of drivers and teamsters alike through fair treatment. I've lavished Polly with everything, treating her like royalty, a fact she proudly shares with friends and family. Yet, despite her adoration, she jeopardized it all for a fleeting affair. Why? This question haunts me relentlessly, even in these final hours. Why would she throw away everything we built together? Why? It remains my most haunting inquiry. Polly's actions were baffling, given her role as a dedicated mother and wife. Juggling household duties and a full-time job as an executive assistant at a local tech company, she seemed to have it all together. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine she would stray. I'm Henry Cooper, Polly's husband of 15 years, and the father of our 2 preteen daughters who adore their daddy. I fit the archetype of an alpha male, unyielding in demeanor but cherishing my wife as the prize she truly is. Though I possess my father's imposing stature, standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 265 pounds of muscle, I am a gentle giant until provoked. Polly witnessed my protective instincts in action on a couple of occasions when we were out together, and she attracted unwanted attention. With her long legs, slim waist, and angelic face, she naturally draws admiring glances, fueling my simmering jealousy, a flaw I struggle to rein in. Twice in our 15 years together, my jealousy erupted into action. When aggressive men disregarded Polly's refusal and attempted to pull her onto the dance floor, they underestimated my resolve. In those moments, I unleashed my strength, dislocating one man's shoulder and inflicting a concussion on another. I refuse to tolerate disrespect, but my wife knows firsthand the lengths I will go to protect her. Given Polly's familiarity with my protective nature, her decision to engage in an affair raises perplexing questions. Why would she risk everything we've built together, knowing the depths of my loyalty and the extent of my devotion to her? It's a puzzle that continues to haunt me. Date night, Thursday. Every detail was meticulously arranged. Accompanied by one of my fixers, I arrived early at the designated location, ensuring a private setting. Generously tipping the hostess ensured they would be seated away from prying eyes. My brilliant wife believed I was out of town, unaware of the trap I was laying. The audio recordings revealed her willingness to rendezvous with her boss on Thursday night. Despite my seething anger, I listened as he eagerly made plans, oblivious to the impending storm. Equipped with software from the PI agency, I monitored Polly's communications, capturing every damning exchange. Each message fueled my fury, particularly his audacious request to pick her up from our home. My plan was simple: confront them mid-tryst, delivering a performance that would culminate in a stern warning and the shock of divorce papers. Revenge burned within me, drowning out any sympathy for the pain I knew my actions would inflict. Despite my conviction, a nagging doubt lingered. Deep down, I knew Polly loved me and our children. Yet the desire for retribution eclipsed any semblance of compassion. Some may argue for forgiveness, citing our years together and the triviality of a mere affair. But as an immature, jealous alpha male, I refuse to let another man defile my wife and maintain his grip on her affections. Though my love for her remained, the betrayal irreparably tainted our connection. With eyes and backup strategically positioned, I awaited the signal indicating the opportune moment. Thursday night arrived, and upon receiving confirmation that the couple had been seated and served, I prepared to confront them. Exiting my car, I entered the restaurant, exchanging pleasantries with the hostess before mustering the composure to execute my plan. As I surveyed the scene, my heart constricted at the sight of the couple. A pang of betrayal mingled with resentment as I beheld my wife, resplendent in a cocktail dress that accentuated her flawless figure, a sight she never bestowed upon me. The inexplicable act fueled my simmering fury, intensifying my determination to unravel the truth. Steeling myself, I approached from the side, their obliviousness fueling my resolve. Polly and her companion remained engrossed in each other, their intimacy a stark contrast to the impending confrontation. With calculated precision, I positioned myself at their table, unnoticed until I pulled a chair from a nearby table, eliciting a reaction that ranged from shock to guilt upon Polly's face. Addressing her with forced joviality, I feigned ignorance of the situation. Polly's attempt to maintain composure, coupled with her introduction of me to her unsuspecting date, only fueled my disdain. The facade of normalcy shattered as the confrontation commenced. She was a master of deception, I had to give her that. Smooth and quick on her feet, she effortlessly veiled her deceit. As my ordered drink arrived, I brushed off Polly's fabrications and raised my glass in a calculated toast. "Let's raise our glasses," I declared with a congenial smile, diverting attention from her attempted subterfuge. "Here's to an intriguing evening and a new chapter." Turning to her boss, Jasper, I engaged him in conversation, feigning ignorance of Polly's transgressions. "Jasper, do you know the secret to Polly and my 15 years of blissful marriage? It's built on a foundation of honesty and trust. Are you married, Jasper?" I queried, already armed with knowledge gleaned from the report. "Yes, happily married for 20 years with 4 wonderful children," Jasper replied, echoing my sentiments on the importance of trust and honesty in marriage. "Marvelous to hear, Jasper," I remarked, turning the spotlight back to Polly. "And Polly, would you say you share the same sentiments?" "Yes, darling, trust and honesty are paramount in our relationship," Polly affirmed confidently, her demeanor betraying no hint of guilt or apprehension. "You see, Jasper, our marriage thrives on mutual trust," I continued, watching their discomfort with a calculated sip from my glass. "As long as Polly remains faithful, she knows she has my unwavering love and support." With each carefully chosen word, I tightened the noose of my game, intent on unraveling their facade. "So, how long have you two been dating?" I inquired nonchalantly, a grin plastered across my face. Polly's irritation flared as she attempted to regain control, her tone indignant. "Honey, this is strictly a business meeting," she retorted, casting me a reproachful glance. "Please refrain from embarrassing me in front of my boss with your baseless jealousy. You know me better than that." Seizing the opportunity, her date chimed in, eager to assert his innocence. "Indeed, Henry, this is purely business," he interjected, adopting a conciliatory tone. "I needed to discuss some upcoming changes with Polly. I apologize if there's been any misunderstanding, but rest assured my intentions are purely professional." Feigning contrition, I offered a sheepish apology. "I'm sorry for any misunderstanding," I muttered, adopting a chastened demeanor. "So this is just a business dinner then? No romantic entanglements?" "That's correct, Henry," Polly affirmed with forced conviction. "Just business meetings, nothing more. Please stop this childish behavior." Bowing my head in full submission, I continued to play my part. "I'm sorry," I murmured, struggling to contain my simmering resentment. "Seeing you in that alluring dress, accompanied by this charming man, well, you can understand why I might feel a tad insecure." Jasper's reassurance only served to fuel my resolve. "Henry, there's no need to apologize," he offered, patting me on the back. "If my wife were in your shoes, I'd likely feel the same." As tension dissipated, I signaled to the man observing from the bar. With a thick folder in hand, he approached the table, delivering the damning evidence. As I laid out the incriminating photos, I turned to Polly, my voice heavy with sorrow. "Polly, I love you with all my heart," I whispered, my words laced with pain. "But you've shattered our marriage with your betrayal. I'll never forget the things I saw and heard. Thank you for destroying everything we had." Polly's gasp echoed through the tense silence as her hands flew to cover her mouth. Jasper, visibly enraged, demanded to know the source of the incriminating photos, but I silenced him with a curt command. As I laid out the damning evidence, I took a moment to scrutinize each photo, punctuating the air with pointed remarks. Polly's tears flowed freely now, her pleas for mercy falling on deaf ears as I endeavored to keep our confrontation discreet, mindful of the prying eyes of neighboring tables. Realizing the gravity of her predicament, Polly grasped for a lifeline. "I'm sorry, baby," she implored, desperation tainting her voice. "Let's leave and talk about this. It's not what it seems, I promise." I regarded her with a sardonic smirk, deliberately drawing out my response. "Not what it seems," I echoed slowly, my tone laced with disbelief. "Are you truly prepared to continue this charade? Know this, both of you. I possess hours of incontrovertible evidence. Videos, audio recordings, texts, emails, and more. And Polly, after witnessing those videos, I never imagined you capable of such deceit. You hid that side of yourself well. But rest assured, I understand everything now." Gesturing to my associate, I directed him to explain our purpose. With a solemn nod, I presented Polly with the divorce papers, my voice heavy with finality. "Polly, our marriage is over," I declared, my words a cold indictment. "You and your lover have irreparably damaged my love for you. Tonight, you'll sign these papers, witnessed by our notary friend at the bar. Refuse, and I'll expose every sordid detail to your parents, friends, and worst of all, our children. I've been fair in this divorce, but our daughters will live with me. They deserve better than a cheater for a mother." "Jasper, my friend," I began, my voice cool and determined, "I suggest you persuade your girlfriend here to sign these papers before I leave. Otherwise, I'll be delivering copies of all the evidence to your wife and your executive team at work. Once I'm done, you'll be out of a job, and Regina will ensure you're ruined financially for a very long time. I'd rather not go down that road, so convince her to sign the divorce papers, and then my soon-to-be ex-wife is all yours. I want nothing to do with that cheating woman ever again." The weight of my words hung heavy in the air, slicing through Polly's defenses. The prospect of losing custody of her daughters added another layer of desperation to her tear-streaked face, while her boyfriend's panic was palpable. Polly's pleas for forgiveness echoed with familiar desperation. Empty promises to make amends, explanations, and declarations of love. But I remained unmoved, steeling myself against her emotional onslaught. Dismissing her entreaties, I rose from my seat with finality. "I'll be heading to the men's room," I announced firmly. "When I return, those papers had better be signed. If not, prepare yourselves for a level of hell you can't even imagine." Left alone with her lover, Polly's sobs intensified, her desperation mounting as she grasped for a lifeline. Jasper, sensing the gravity of the situation, acted swiftly. "Polly, just sign them," he urged urgently. "But ask him to hold on to them for a week. Use that time to convince him you love him, that you'll do anything to salvage your marriage. Promise therapy, whatever it takes. But make him wait a week. It's the only chance we have. He's serious, and if he has those videos and audios, we're both finished." "I don't want a divorce," Polly cried, her voice choked with emotion. "Trust me, if you can get him to wait, I'm sure you can save your marriage. Think about the children. You don't want to lose the girls, do you?" I implored, knowing the gravity of the situation. Her tears flowed anew, and after a few agonizing minutes, I returned to the table. "Well, have you signed them yet?" I asked, my tone clipped. With a heavy heart, she met my gaze and spoke in a voice laden with sorrow. Honey, I'll do whatever you want, including signing these papers. But please, can you give me just 1 week? 1 week to be with my girls and talk. After 15 years, please give me that much. I sat in silence, contemplating her plea. Despite the betrayal, I relented. Even though you deserve nothing from me after what you've done, I'll give you that, I conceded begrudgingly. You can come home, but you'll stay in one of the guest bedrooms. I don't want you near my bed during this time. Now, sign them so I can leave. As she signed the papers, I gathered them into the folder and stood to depart. Before leaving, I took her hand in mine, watching as she smiled until I removed her wedding rings, dropping mine into her wine glass. Her crestfallen expression brought a small measure of satisfaction, a fleeting acknowledgement of the pain she inflicted. Turning to Jasper, I delivered a final warning. Well, asshole, she's your date now? Do what you want with her, I spat, seething with contempt. But remember, you slept with my wife, destroyed our marriage, and endangered a lot, including my children's love for their mother. Your ass is mine, and I have your balls in my hand. Don't cross me. You're lucky I didn't carry out my original plans for you. It's far from over between us, you scumbag. You'll be hearing from me soon. Got it? Jasper nodded silently as I loomed over him, a silent testament to the disruption of their evening plans. As I made to depart, Polly seized my arm, her voice pleading. Henry, can I please come home with you? I just want to be with you, please. I recoiled from her touch as if scorched by fire, my disgust palpable. I have no desire to be seen with a traitor like you, I retorted, my disdain evident. You disgust me. I'm ashamed to have been your husband. Admittedly, I was far from gracious in that moment, but frankly, I didn't care. Despite the tumult of emotions within me, I took pride in my ability to contain my jealousy and anger. I had given her a week to ponder her actions. Now it was time to see what would unfold. The following morning, I heard her return home late in the evening, quietly retreating to the guest suite, a tacit acknowledgement of the strained atmosphere between us. The next morning, as we crossed paths in the kitchen, I remained resolute in my determination for retribution. Good morning, cheater, I greeted her coldly, my tone dripping with contempt. How is my cheating wife today? She flinched, her gaze dropping to her coffee cup as she uttered the familiar refrain of every cheating spouse caught in the act. Honey, we need to talk. Listen, there's nothing to discuss, Polly, I interjected, cutting off her attempt at reconciliation. I know everything. I know the extent of your betrayal, the duration of your affair, the disparaging remarks you made about me and our marriage. I witnessed the things you did with him, the way you dressed for him. I heard all the comparisons, all the lies, all the deceit. You took me for a fool, and I can't fathom how foolish you were to believe you could get away with it. Unless there's something I've overlooked, there's nothing left to say. I'm the fool, not you, Polly confessed, tears streaming down her cheeks. I don't know why I let it happen. You gave me everything I ever wanted, and I love you regardless of what you heard in those videos. You have to know I never meant to hurt you, and I never wanted you to find out. Exactly my point, Polly, I responded, my voice heavy with disappointment. You never wanted me to find out. You wanted to keep it a secret, to continue lying and sleeping with your lover behind my back. That's the crux of the matter, Polly. I can forgive infidelity. After all, we're all human and make mistakes. But this wasn't a mistake. You chose this, and you chose to keep it a secret, to lie, cheat, and conceal your affair. I love you, Polly, but as Tina Turner says, what's love got to do with it? My trust is shattered, and I'm left wondering if I ever truly knew you. How many other men have there been? How many times have you returned to my bed after being with your lover? I'm so disgusted, I can barely find the words. Sobbing now, Polly realized the depth of my pain and the gravity of her actions. There were no more excuses or justifications, only an admission of guilt. Okay, I'm guilty, and I hate myself for it, she admitted, her voice choked with remorse. There was never anyone else, and no matter what I say, I know you won't be able to forgive me for what I've done. But I don't want a divorce. I'll do whatever it takes to stay with you. I think I need counseling, and maybe we can go together to figure out what's wrong with me. Please don't leave me." I paused for a moment, considering her plea. "Polly, you can go to counseling. Do whatever you need to do, and I'll support you," I replied finally. "But I can't live with a woman who could discard me so callously. Your actions and the words you said revealed your true feelings, and I can't see a way forward with someone who feels that way about me. I know there are other women out there who would cherish the chance to be with me. You had your opportunity, and you chose to throw it away. Enjoy your week here with the girls. Try to explain why you're leaving. I won't speak ill of you, but it's important that you tell them you're leaving and why," I stated firmly. "In the divorce agreement, I've granted you full access to our daughters at all times, but they will be living with me. However, if you continue to engage in promiscuous behavior and set a negative example for our daughters, I will have to reconsider the terms of your visitations. I'll treat you better than you deserve and help you maintain your relationship with our daughters, but I have 2 questions for you to consider before you answer. Firstly, why? Why did you risk everything for this? And secondly, was it worth it?" The following Monday, I contacted Jasper and arranged to meet him for lunch on Wednesday. After convincing him of the importance of our meeting, I expressed my profound disappointment in how he had contributed to the destruction of my marriage and hinted at the potential consequences. Over lunch, I outlined the repercussions of his actions and detailed my expectations for restitution. "You're going to pay for Polly's rent and car payments for the next 3 years, I declared firmly. "Consider it your punishment. You're getting off easy, Jasper. Despite everything, I still care for my cheating wife and want her to be taken care of. Since you played a role in this, you'll comply with my demands. This arrangement will help Polly get back on her feet after I kick her out. If you fail to follow through, I'll ensure you lose your job and that Regina learns about your infidelity. Consider it a lifeline, Jasper. This is the consequence of seducing a married woman. People like you need to understand that actions have repercussions. Why not pursue single women instead of tearing apart families? That was a cowardly move, Jasper." Epilogue. Despite my anger and hurt, I made sure to treat Polly with decency, allowing her to visit the children and maintaining a cordial relationship. However, she never managed to regain my respect or trust. Jasper faithfully made his payments every month, knowing the consequences if he failed to comply. Polly struggled to provide satisfactory answers to my questions. While she expressed remorse for her actions and admitted they weren't worth it, she couldn't explain the underlying motivation. Now living alone without a boyfriend and the love she once had, she faced the consequences of her choices. I could have inflicted more pain upon her, but the loss of her family and my love was punishment enough. Despite undergoing counseling, Polly couldn't offer a satisfactory explanation for her actions. Her best attempt was, "I don't know why, it just happened. It had nothing to do with you or our marriage because I do love you and was happy with our life together, but it was something new and exciting. I screwed up." Unable to contain my frustration, I confronted her. "If you were truly happy, why did you dress up and wear provocative clothing for him? Why engage in behaviors with him that you never did with me? It just happened isn't a sufficient answer. You repeatedly chose to pursue this affair and dress to entice him each time. Yet you claim to love me. Perhaps one day, you'll have the courage to provide a genuine explanation. I believe you owe us that much. For those of us who have been cheated on, this remains an unsolvable riddle. Thanks to the actions of these 2 cheating couples, I'm uncertain if I can ever fully trust or commit myself to another woman again. It's a sad reality, but one that I must come to terms with." Thank you for watching my video to the end. Don't forget to give me a like if you like this story and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day and see you soon.